What's going on, Packers fans? Aaron Nagler here with Cheesehead TV, giving you stock up and stock down. That's right. It's a stock report for week 2 of the preseason. Let's get to it. First up, we've got Jordan Morgan with another clean sheet against the Colts starters on Saturday. This comes after a joint practice where he, by all accounts, held his own against the starters there as well. 2 weeks in a row now, Morgan's gone with the ones, faced off against opposing starters, and kept a blank sheet, kept his quarterback clean. Starting to feel like he is making his move to potentially be the starting left tackle of this team. Now, Rasheed Walker will most likely be back in the mix this week. But I tell you what, for a guy who was much maligned last season coming into this summer, it's been a really good performance for Morgan. His arrow is pointing up. Another guy whose arrow is undoubtedly pointing up is Lucas Van Ness. And no, we didn't see him Saturday against the Colts. But in the joint practice, yet again, lots of plays being made, again, against the opposing starters. And he's done that all throughout training camp, whether it's been the Packers starters, whether it's been opposing starters against the Jets, against the Colts in the joint practice. Lucas Van Ness keeps making plays. I know it's all going to change come week 1. The expectations are going to be sky high, but he's certainly heading in the right direction by all accounts, both at practice and in these games. Exciting stuff from Lucas Van Ness. Another guy whose arrow is up, Amar Johnson, the undrafted rookie running back who's coming off a strong performance in Indianapolis there in the second half. You'd like to see him have another really strong week of practice coming up. Definitely want to see him against some heavier competition, some ones, even some twos. Yesterday, he was running against a lot of third and fourth stringers, guys who most likely won't be in the league, which is not a knock to him. You have to do what you can while you're on the field, and he certainly did that. But his arrow is pointing in the right direction. Exciting stuff from Amar Johnson. Final stock up is a bit of a cheat because I'm going to use two guys in Julian Hicks and Cornelius Johnson, both young wide receivers making the most of their opportunities. Now, both of them also had big gains or plays taken away by penalties, but doesn't seem like it's too big for them at all against, again, some top flight competition. Both guys making plays in the joint practices and especially in the preseason game on Saturday. Hopefully, we'll see a little bit more of them against some ones and twos this week against Seattle, but both of their arrows are pointing up. As for the other side of the ledger, you talk about guys whose stock is down after Saturday, you got to start with Anthony Belton. What an unfortunate performance, and it's frustrating because you can see all the physical gifts, all the tools, but when you're committing as many penalties and wiping out as many big plays as Belton was throughout that game, especially in the first half, it's hard to think that this is a coaching staff that will look to him in any way and trust him to deliver when things count. There's no way you can put him out there if he's continuously making the same mistakes over and over and over again and essentially blowing up chances for your offense to either move the ball or score points. Hopefully, he has a much better week of practice and a much better showing in next Saturday's preseason game against the Seahawks. But right now, the arrow is pointing down. Speaking of not being able to trust a guy, at this point, I'm not so sure we can trust Marshawn Lloyd to last more than 5 plays. It's very frustrating coming off Saturday's game where you saw his explosiveness, you saw the playmaking ability, you saw what they like about him. But again, 5 plays, that's all he lasted. And then he was off due to what I guess sounds like a hamstring issue. Maybe that's a nagging thing. Maybe that goes back to something we saw earlier this camp, but you hate the fact that this guy flashes and then is unable to stay on the field. Until further notice, the arrow's down on Marshawn Lloyd. Finally, Isaiah Simmons certainly has shown over the course of these 2 preseason games why he's been unable to stick anywhere in the league. All those God-given gifts, all that athleticism, all that talent. But again and again and again, you see him either out of position or missing a tackle and essentially doing something that tells you, oh, this is why he's on his 3rd team. We heard a lot this summer about the Packers trying to simplify things for him and delineate his responsibilities, playing one linebacker position. And this was supposed to help. But whatever they've done, it doesn't seem to have harnessed that really incredible talent in any meaningful way. The arrow's pointing down on Isaiah Simmons. Let me know in the comments below, who do you think helped themselves this past week? Who do you think probably did more harm than good? And then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide.